Now, the part that I think really kind of, frankly, caught the internet afire is when you described Greene in this request for clarification as a bleached blonde, bad-built butch body, which I had to look at my notes to read. Any regrets about that kind of language, especially given that you were trying to make a point, frankly, about decorum in the hearing room?
I have no regrets, and I'll tell you why. Because Marjorie Taylor Greene is the type of person that if you give her an inch, she'll take a mile. And the fact that they continue to allow her to break the rules of decorum over and over and over, whether it's the State of the Union that the president is delivering and she's wearing a MAGA hat or otherwise, the reason that she didn't have committee assignments before was because she did not know how to conduct herself as a member of Congress. And so if I just sit there and say, oh, well, Marjorie said it about me, what's to stop her to continue to do it again and again? And at the end of the day, I was elected as a representative of Congress, but that doesn't mean that I'm supposed to be somebody's doormat.
But Michelle Obama famously said, when they go low, we go high. Are those days basically over?
I don't know that we can even call this a low. I mean, she goes to hell, and then I do my best to remind her as to why she should not cross me.
So one of your colleagues, Jamie Raskin, actually suggested that some members might have been drinking. Others have said that as well, making that suggestion. That's a pretty serious allegation. Do you think that that played a factor here?
I think with Marjorie Taylor Greene, it doesn't require alcohol for her to be unhinged. I'll be perfectly honest. I don't know. I don't have any facts to that. So, I won't say and I won't participate in rumors when I don't have any facts behind it.
So you also called Greene racist for what she said about you. Why is that?
Yeah. Because as I've received so many amazing compliments from MAGA America throughout my time in Congress, a lot of times when I would go viral, instead of them trying to address the things that I laid out in a very factual way, what they would try to do is say, oh, look at her hair, or look at her nails, or look at her lashes. And they would all then associate anything that I do as a form of beautification with being quote unquote ghetto. And so to me, she was just basically repeating the nonsense that MAGA world is constantly putting out there, because I am not the only woman in Congress that wears lashes. And there are women on her side of the aisle that wear lashes as well as hair extensions. But she's never felt like that was a dig that she needed to take at anyone, except for me, a Black woman who sits on the committee. And then, of course, she went after AOC and called her unintelligent, a brown woman that sits on the committee.
CNN actually asked her for comment, and this is a statement that we received. She said the only member that brought up any reference to color was Congresswoman Crockett. She's putting that on you.
I brought it up when we were in committee. It definitely did not come up. When I was asked about whether or not I felt like she was being racist, I told the truth, which was absolutely yes. But ultimately, in committee, that was not part of the conversation whatsoever.
Just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, bleach blonde, bad built butch body.
So I normally do this thing called Good Yawn in America, where we have a little bit of a laugh and review everything that's gone on in American politics, American cable TV, etc. But what happened in the House hearing, I'm not really sure why they're having a hearing into Merrick Garland, was shameful and embarrassing.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, that is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aww.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl?
We are gonna move, and we're gonna take your words down.
I second that.
When you run into AOC in the halls of Congress or on the floor of the House, do you ever speak to people that have these views? Do you ever have these discussions in person?
I've tried, Sean. I actually challenged AOC to debates multiple times, and she has refused to debate me.
To tell you that yesterday on the House floor,
I happened to finally bump into AOC, and I challenged her to a debate about the Green New Deal. And I wanted to specifically debate her on the Green New Deal. That's exactly what I told her when I spoke with her yesterday on the House floor. But AOC couldn't do it. You want to know why? She's chicken, and she isn't brave enough to defend those ideas because they're not her own. They came out of a think tank, and she just put her name on them. We're going to debate. I told her, she asked me if I had read her 14-page Green New Deal. I said, I've read some of it. And she said, well, when you read all of it, then you can challenge me to a debate. Well, the good news is I've read all 14 little pages, and I'm very ready to debate her on the House floor. So this is what we're going to be doing. The date hasn't been set, but when it is set, I will let you know. And she better show up. If she chickens out, then she shows exactly who she really is, a scared little girl that is pretty stupid and doesn't know anything.
Excuse me, I've got to take my top off here 1 second. Yeah, you get it in some of the other channels. It was just, these are representatives who are meant to be representing the people who voted for them. You know, Marjorie Taylor Greene, I'm sure, has constituents who want her to talk about whether it's housing, schools, health, really important things. But instead, it is just, it resembles the worst of social media. She said, he said, blah, blah, blah. The insults.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Greene's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are going to
so.
move, and we're going to take your words down.
I second that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. All right. We're suspending Ms. Greene for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's?
It's me.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
I'm
parliament.
trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to strike those
I had no idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just
You just voted to do it.
Y'all did it first, so you don't want to talk about
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look it, calm down.
No, because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying to get
Ms.
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Ms.
games.
Crockett.
I can't hear you with your
And
yelling.
You don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if
Look, Chairman,
I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right,
Sorry.
Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes.
It got very personal. It got very just distasteful. If anybody is watching, just think now, there may well be somebody who sees this who thinks, when I grow up, I would like to be a politician. I would like to be a representative. These people you see are not setting an example. There's inflammatory comments. You could say they should stay above it, but they were personal inflammatory comments. This is not how it's done. Obviously, for the likes of the Trumpy Trumps, they want this minutiae. For those who've given Elon Musk the money on social media, for the blue tick, they want this confrontation.
Chair recognizes Mr. Moskowitz.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. All right, so welcome to Oversight After Dark. If you love James Comer at 11 o'clock in the morning, you're really going to love him at 8:30 p.m. So,
fight, but it's got to be a higher level than that.
Stand with Comer. The Democrats. You sure about that?
It was what my late mum would call a bun fight. It was, you're this, you're that. It was childish. It is beyond childish. I'm kind of lost for words. The likes of Tucker Carlson and Alex Jones, this for them is their minutiae. They love it. No talking, just shouting and screaming and getting in insults. For those who feel that Trump is the new beginning and go to all of the rallies, they probably think this is brilliant. But how is it solving anything? How is it, for example, making your job more secure? How?
Members, the hearing was moved today. We don't have to ask the question. The hearing was moved today so that members could go to New York and attend the Trump hearing. But how's he doing? He's complained that he's chilly in the courtroom. Is it chilly? Is it chilly?
Will the gentleman yield?
No, I'll assume it's
He's
chilly.
doing very good.
Okay, good. So, it was mentioned by the ranking member about really what we're doing here. You don't have to listen to my words. I would like to do a spirited reading of the campaign email sent out by the chairman. And it's on lovely stationery. In fact, it says, from the desk of the oversight chairman. I'm not sure you can do that, but I'm not an ethics expert. It says, friend. President Biden is exerting executive privilege in a last-ditch attempt to stop the disastrous audio recording of his interview with special counsel from being released. And it's highlighted in yellow. Want to make sure people saw that. Just a few months ago, the White House bragged that Joe Biden had nothing to hide and would not exert executive privilege during special counsel Hur's investigation. They even said he had nothing to hide. That's in italics. Now Biden and his advisors are terrified that I, James Comer, will release the recordings, forcing the media and the Democrats to answer for the dismal decline of Biden's mental state. He even had attorney Merrick Garland write a letter saying that his interview falls within the scope of executive privilege. This could be the final blow with swing voters across the country. Okay. You and I know, hold on, we're not done, it gets better. You and I know he's not up for the job, but the mainstream's media refusal to report on it as only keeping him in the game. Stand with Comer. The Democrats, you sure about that? The Democrats are pulling out all the stops to stop the bleeding. That means coming after me with everything they had. If you're able, we hope you are, I'd be so grateful if you'd consider making a donation to my campaign. I sure need it to defend against the onslaught of attacks. Thank you for everything. James Comer, chairman of the House Oversight Committee. Without objection, I'd like to enter that into the record.
Without objection, so ordered.
All right, beautiful.
How, if you have medical bills right now, is Marjorie Taylor Greene looking for an insult? How is that going to make your medical bills better? Say you need insulin. Right now, if you've got to go and get a prescription charges may be expensive, Marjorie Taylor Greene shouting and rollicking, how does that affect your cost of your insulin? Tell me now.
Ms. Greene, for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's?
It's me.
Ms. Crockett.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's a
on.
part of
I'm trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to strike those
I had no idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just
You just voted to do it.
Y'all did it first, so you don't
just voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at calm down.
No, because this
I
is
would
what
like
y'all
to get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying to get
Ms.
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Ms.
games.
Crockett.
I can't hear you with your
And
yelling.
You don't want
Calm
me
down.
To be,
Can
no,
you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all talk
Please calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right,
Sorry.
chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognize.
How? Look, Bush, Clinton, Kennedy, Reagan, they had differences. How has it got to this stage where they almost, I think it was going to turn to a fight at one stage? Think about it. If you've got a prescription charge for insulin, how is Marjorie Taylor Greene rollicking and ranting and shouting and screaming? How is that affecting you? How's that going to help your price of the insulin come down? If your job is a bit that you're not too sure, how is Marjorie Taylor Greene screeching their head off? How is that helping?
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about
just
AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about. I guess
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
you,
please
Mr. Green.
engage
That's
the
beneath
order
even
of your
you.
committee?
Order.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Greene's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your feelings hurt?
Her words down. Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play.
Baby girl? I don't think
we are
so.
going to move and we're going to take your words down.
I second that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. Ms. Greene agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
should
recognizes
apologize. No. She should
Okay,
apologize.
hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Greene
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Chair,
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
it's
minority.
pretty self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're
out
not.
of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
words.
Move to
I would
strike
like to
those
strike
words
the lady's
as well.
words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the words.
There's another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's
control.
the correct apology. Ms. Greene, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection. Without
Not
objection.
apologizing.
Chair, 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold
a
on.
I'm
parliament.
trying to find clarification on what qualifies.
Chairman, motion to strike
I
those
had no idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just
You just voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you
You
don't
just
have to
voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get clarification.
Look at calm down.
No, because this
I
is
would
what
like
y'all
to get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying to get
Ms.
clarification.
Crockett, you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Ms.
games,
Crockett.
I can't hear you with your
and
yelling.
You don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm down?
Don't tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if
Look, Chairman,
I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr.
Order.
Chairman.
All right,
Sorry.
Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
acting
Chair
like
now
that.
recognizes.
The self-absorbedness is just incredible. It's like those whirling and complaining about on January the 6th. You're either going to have democracy or you have a dictatorship where it's only my view, no one else's view. I don't want to hear what you say. You're wrong, you're wrong. It's a conspiracy theory. The deep state.
Mr. Chairman,
People refer to the former president as president, but we have one president at a time, and that is Joe Biden. And seemingly, this type of attitude and position has come straight from the top. This idea of lacking all decorum, decency, has left the building when the stench of Donald Trump showed up. And so we've seen constantly from him how he mocks people. We've seen in this committee how different members want to mock other members. And that's all this is about. But what is so frustrating to me and what should be frustrating to the American people, and the reason that really all y'all should lose y'all's jobs, but why we are going to take the majority is simple. It's because we showed up ready to work earlier today, like we always do. And now it is currently 10 p.m., and we are still here because we are committed to doing the right thing. And my question is really simple. It's a matter of, if this was such a big deal, if it was a matter of an emergency, if this was so important as it relates to whether or not the President of the United States has done something so wrong, then why is it that we couldn't have our hearing at 11 o'clock this morning instead of members being in a criminal courthouse with a twice impeached, over 88 count indicted sexual abuser, instead of being here to do the work of the American people if this was serious? This is the reason that people don't believe that we are doing serious
Mr. Chairman,
work
point of order.
here.
I'd ask
State your point.
my point of order is this. She just engaged in personalities about a former president, which
You can't engage in personalities with a former president. That is not the
reviewed the rules, and you know that it's true. If you were on the floor, you would be admonished. You know that.
And what's scary, these are the politicians. They're not even the cable news people who love all of this. The cable news people, they're saying, oh, wow, look what they're doing to us. This is dreadful, etc., etc. How is this let's like take out the crazy people. How is this affecting the everyday normal person, the hard-working person, the small business person, the person that cares? You know, think about it. Parents see this. Would you let your children go into politics? You'd be thinking, what? I'd love to hear somebody from like Harvard or one of the great big educational institutions. Is this where it's come down to? Is this debate?
I know a lot of people refer to the former president as president, but we have one president at a time, and that is Joe Biden. And seemingly, this type of attitude and position has come straight from the top. This idea of lacking all decorum, decency, has left the building when the stench of Donald Trump showed up. And so we've seen constantly from him how he mocks people. We've seen in this committee how different members want to mock other members. And that's all this is about. But what is so frustrating to me and what should be frustrating to the American people, and the reason that really all y'all should lose y'all's jobs, but why we are going to take the majority is simple. It's because we showed up ready to work earlier today, like we always do. And now it is currently 10 p.m., and we are still here because we are committed to doing the right thing. And my question is really simple. It's a matter of, if this was such a big deal, if it was a matter of an emergency, if this was so important as it relates to whether or not the President of the United States has done something so wrong, then why is it that we couldn't have our hearing at 11 o'clock this morning instead of members being in a criminal courthouse with a twice impeached, over 88 count indicted sexual abuser, instead of being here to do the work of the American people if this was serious? This is the reason that people don't believe that we are doing serious
Mr. Chairman,
work
point of order.
here.
I'd ask the...
State your point.
My point of order is this. She just engaged in personalities about a former president, which
You can't engage in personalities with a former president.
Just
That is not the
reviewed the rules, and you know that is true. If you were on the floor, you would be admonished. You know that.
So every so often, Mr. Garcia, maybe you could just lift up that picture of our President Trump sleeping. As you say, I think he's praying. But if he is sleeping, you know, he certainly looks pretty while he sleeps. Maybe it's an endearing moment of prayer, though. I know when I fall asleep on airplanes, you know, my mouth kind of drops open. And, you know, his mouth is kind of tight-lipped. So maybe it's just a somber moment of
I mean,
thought.
he's sleeping. It's been reported by multiple press outlets.
I was in the
that
courtroom
he's
today,
sleeping.
and I could see why someone would fall asleep, just like George Conway fell asleep today in the court hearing. You know, it's kind of slow in there. It's not as exciting as the House Oversight Committee, but I just wanted to say that's a lovely picture you have of President Trump, Mr. Garcia. Thank you, and I yield.
Gentlelady.
I mean, it's a lot, right, to ask someone who's facing a criminal trial and running for president to ask his political allies to travel over 200 miles on a voting day here in Congress to pop up to New York and snap some cute pictures to defend him because the judge has ordered him to stop threatening the jurors in his own trial. I mean, some might actually view this as direct interference in a criminal court case. It's not exactly law and order, as our friends like to talk about all the time. But
President Trump, when he was in office, he underwent testing for his cognitive dissonance, for his ability to function as president of the United States.
Donald Trump. Now let's look at public reporting. I'm only going to talk about public reporting. His criminal trial started on April 15th. And here's a summary of the press reports. On his first day of his trial, Reuters reported that Trump appeared to doze off during jury selection. On April 16th, it was reported that Trump dropped his head inside the courtroom, keeping his eyes closed before jolting his head upright. On April 19th, the New York Times reported Trump's eyes remained, quote, closed for extended periods during the final day of jury selection. On April 22nd, MSNBC reported that Trump's lawyers were fighting to keep him awake. On April 30th, NBC and the New York Times reported that Trump nodded off for significant portions of witness testimony, and as we all know, basically kept his eyes closed for hours and hours on end. On May 9th, Trump's eyes remained closed for many minutes, and Trump later, of course, dozed on and off. And the reports go on and on. May 13th, Trump was, quote, asleep during the afternoon session. On May 14th, a political reporter said Trump slouched in his seat and closed his eyes and his mouth. Now, here we have a photo of Donald Trump, of course, through some of his trial.
Happening because you look at Judge Engoron, you look at Judge Kaplan, what they've done, it's disgraceful. Everyone's laughing at the New York system, and companies are leaving, people are leaving, but major companies with tremendous taxpayer dollars and employers of millions of people, literally, people are leaving. They're taking their companies, and they're all watching this case, and they're watching. That was from Jonathan Turley, Andrew McCarthy. NDAs are legal in common, yet Bragg alleges Trump's was illegal. I have the only illegal NDA.
How is it you have people like Gosser, Gates, Carrie Lake, Boebert, Marjorie Taylor? These aren't just fringe people. They're literally dominating the conversation. The Trump effect is crazy. Just crazy. Look, I'm an outsider looking in. How does anything ever get back to policy when it's insult, 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 insult? As I said, I have never seen anything like it before. And what's scary, if you're thinking these are the politicians who are setting the agenda...
A couple of things are happening. Number one, I did not, James Comer like me, I never heard the term bleach blonde butch body. Yeah. He goes, he goes, you said what now? So that was the best comeback ever.
You said what?
Yeah. So he said, what if I said that? Would that be struck from the record?
Right.
AOC said, strike it from the record that Congresswoman Crockett has big eyelashes.
Eyelashes.
Right.
It's the fake eyelashes.
Right. So that was non-relevant, but Marjorie Taylor Greene thought it was relevant, so said strike it. She goes, you could strike it, but I'm not going to apologize.
Right. So then she comes back, well, what if? Would you strike it from the record if I said there was someone here with bleach blonde hair and a badly built butch body?
Yeah.
What the hell happens next? Is it really going to be that we're in the school of Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson? You shout and scream, you're racist, you're homophobic, you tell lies? It's bullshit like you hear on Fox nonstop? Is that the way that American politics is now arrived at? Seriously? Wow.
You know, Willie, blaming the wife thing for people in public eye in trouble, that's going around.
Don't ever do that.
You know, I'm scared of you. I would never do that. But, Willie, this circles back to these people, and I will say these people, these Trumpers, who have spent their entire life attacking people for being insufficiently patriotic, and then they lose, and they just hate America. They hate America. They're constantly going around saying how weak we are. They hate our military. They say how weak our military is when it's the strongest in the world. They hate our economy. They claim the president of the United States is a socialist. The Dow yesterday made all of these people a lot richer, breaking 40,000 for the first time, despite Donald Trump's lies that it would collapse if Joe Biden was president of the United States. They hate this country. They attack this country. The only time they love it is when their person is in office. And I just got to say, and we've got a lot of legal, brilliant minds around this table. Yeah. So they can speak to this later if they want to. I will tell you, growing up, one of my friends' fathers was a federal judge. I had no idea until I got older whether he was Republican or Democrat. And that was the case in Northwest Florida, a very conservative place. The federal judges kept themselves beyond reproach. They never talked politics, ever, in the privacy of their homes. If you asked them opinion, they would just say, not my job, right? I'm a judge. They actually took their oath seriously. And for a Supreme Court justice, and I will say my opinion only, but the guy most likely to have had something to do with the leaking of the Dobbs decision. Yeah. Leaking it to the Wall Street Journal, or somebody connected to him leaking it to the Wall Street Journal because he wanted to keep Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett frozen in place. I think history will show that. But that aside, for a guy who is a Supreme Court justice that let that happen at his own home in one of the most fraught times in American history since the Civil War is just, it's just sad. And it shows how little respect he has for the institution. It shows how little respect he has for the law. It really does. It's disgusting. It's just disgusting.